today's news, the BVI Health Services Authority refutes claims of a protest among emergency room nurses, and free shuttle service now available in Road Town. We also see legal issues plaguing the Prospect Reef project, and also the world's largest cruise ship set sail in March. Our viewers, these and more stories went to it for a news return.
Live stream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Monday, February 7th, 2022. I'm Kamal Haynes, coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Well, happy Monday to one and all, and thank you so much for joining us. Well, we start today's newscast on the recent rumors of a protest among some local nurses. Well, viewers, after reports of a sick-out amongst emergency room nurses, the BVI Health Services Authority issued a statement addressing the matter. 284's Ron Grant has the story.
In an official statement, the board and management of the BVI Health Services Authority announced that they have been notified of a news article raising community concern regarding an alleged nursing protest involving emergency room nurses. The agency said that it can confirm that it has received no such notification or indication of a nursing protest in the form of a sick-out by members of staff, particularly those assigned to the emergency room, and as such is informing the public that as of Sunday, February 6, 2022, there has been no evidence of such a protest. The statement continued, and I quote, "After the news report was brought to our attention, the management team convened a meeting with the Director of Nursing for further clarification on the matter. The Director of Nursing confirmed that there are 2 nurses who are presently on approved sick leave and up to the time of the meeting had not received any calls consistent with that of a sick-out." The agency further stated that like many entities, both local and international, the BVI Health Services Authority is grappling with various effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, saying, and I quote, "We know that the past 18 months have been challenging for our staff, who have worked continuously to provide medical service to the people of this territory." The statement closed by saying, and I quote, "As an organization, we are appreciative of all our staff, as well as what they have been doing for the organization. We dub them our BVI Health Services Authority heroes and have made efforts to demonstrate our appreciation and gratitude. It should also be noted that other staff appreciation measures are in the pipeline." Reporting for 284 News, Ron Grant.
Well, viewers, the BVI Health Services Authority has been a topic of discussion throughout the territory for some time now, from a lack of staffing to the dismissal of 2 top officials and more. Well, we'll continue to keep you, the viewers, updated on matters arising from the Health Services Authority. We're now moving on to our next story, where residents will now have easier access across Road Town following the launch of a park and ride electric shuttle service commissioned by the government of the Virgin Islands. Well, the ceremony for this new initiative was held last Friday by the Ministry of Transportation, Works and Utilities with an aim to alleviate traffic congestion in the city. Well, viewers, take a listen.
This service will be beneficial to all of the patrons of the city, with its frequent stops throughout the city, getting persons to their daily city destinations.
Even more, over the past 5 years, the Virgin Islands has also experienced a steady increase in vehicle registration. It shows that we are licensing more cars, we are importing more cars, but we are not building any new roads. This has also further added to the recipe of a cluttered city, especially during peak time. These circumstances challenge us to be innovative. The Ministry of Transportation and Works and Utilities, they're responsible for developing and maintaining the territory's infrastructure, and we remain dedicated to ensuring that the infrastructure conforms to international standards to support enhanced community life. To this end, the implementation of the City of Roetown Park and Ride shuttle service aims to achieve the following objectives: alleviating parking lot congestion, reducing traffic congestion, reducing the use of fossil fuels and the effect of harmful emissions into the environment, which in turn reduces the carbon footprint of these Virgin Islands, reducing parking on roadways, which causes traffic obstructions, aiding in pedestrianizing the city, and improving mobility within the city limits.
Well, that was the City Manager Janice Brathwaite Edwards and the Minister of Transportation, Works and Utilities, Honorable Kai Reimer. While also the Premier and Minister of Finance, Honorable Andrew Foy, spoke at the ceremony, tying in the commissioning of the electric shuttles to the government's wider Going Green initiative.
Think about it. Would you rather spend your money on dirty fossil fuel and have that money leaving our shores to further enrich some foreign economy? Or would you rather go green, save money in your pocket, make money by selling the electricity to the grid, redirect the money that will be going abroad to the oil and gas companies into your Virgin Islands economy and spending a fraction on that, employing and empowering young or your own Virgin Islander youths? I think the answer is very straightforward, and your government has given you the incentives to ease the cost of you making the transition. So there's a lot of good reasons and a lot of good opportunities for you to join us in the Going Green and taking advantage of the incentives under the Going Green initiative. So as we launch the electric shuttle for the City of Roetown today, I urge you to make the fullest use of it. It is just a part of the overall Going Green program and initiative by your government. I urge you to show love for our Virgin Islands and our planet, especially with the dangers of climate change lurking. Caring for our environment is pure BVI love, because it is just one form of loving our Virgin Islands every day.
Well, viewers, the shuttle service is currently in effect between the hours of 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays through Fridays, with the shuttle leaving the Ralph T. O'Neill complex every 30 minutes. That is the Ralph T. O'Neill Administration Complex every 30 minutes. Well, the ministry says that up to 4 shuttles will be running daily. Well, viewers, up next, legal issues plague Prospect Reef. We have an informative piece on the latest updates regarding the government-owned facility. Viewers, stay tuned.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny. Good morning. Good morning, Sonny boy. Over there. You must have cut fun people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Well, welcome back, viewers. While legal entanglements remain the order of the day for the Prospect Reef Hotel property on Tortola, which remains in a deplorable state. Well, viewers, let's take a look at this informative piece. For those of you who may be wondering my present location or where I'm at, no, I'm not in a jungle. I'm presently here at the Prospect Reef Hotel here in Tortola, a destination that has now become an eyesore for many residents here in the territory. Well, the topic of Prospect Reef was brought back to the forefront from businesswoman Shana Smith Archer, who raised several concerns on the government-owned hotel. Well, this prompted 284 News to investigate the matter and to find out exactly what stage the government was at with their plans for Prospect Reef. Well, viewers, take a look at the information we gathered.
Basically, I live on the western end of the island, so I pass there basically every day. And, you know, it's always one of those things where I'm observing, you know, what's happening in my community, you know, and things that need to be addressed. I guess that's the engineer in me. But, you know, that day when I actually paused and looked at it and was like, I did the calculation in my head, it's been 4 years going on 5 since Hurricane Irma. Completely devastated the facility. And, you know, we have not heard, as you know, persons would know, anything concerning what is the status of the project. Knowing that it's not a private development, but it is actually publicly owned because the government had purchased it a few years ago. So, you know, I'm disappointed from that regard in terms of the current condition, as well as the fact that, you know, nothing is being done with it, or at least we're not aware of what the plan is for it.
That was businesswoman Shana Smith Archer expressing her disappointment in how the once prime real estate has now been abandoned. Well, Shana's social media comments prompted 284 News to do an investigation on the subject matter. Among many things, this took us to Premier Andrew Foy's 2020 budget address, where he outlined several ambitious goals his government intended to achieve, not only for the 2020 fiscal year, but also before his first term in office concludes. One such goal included the construction of a hotel at Prospect Reef, which he said would have been a joint collaboration with large international brands that have a global marketing structure already in place. Well, let's take a trip back down memory lane.
Your government will intensify its effort to bring those properties under the control of the government, such as Prospect Reef, back into operation. An attractive formula is to partner with large international brands that have a global marketing structure already in place and which are synonymous with high-quality service. Invitations for expressions of interest will be going out soon. Your government commits that reconstruction of a hotel at Prospect Reef must take place during this current term of office. Such a venture, along with the return to service of our major privately owned local hotels and resorts, will bring us much closer to our desired medium-term room stock target of 5,000 when completed.
Fast forward to 2022, more than 2 years since making that declaration, and still nothing to indicate any plans for the government-owned property. Well, after weeks of asking top government officials questions on the subject and being sent on a wild goose chase, 284 News was finally able to question the Premier himself on the subject matter at a recent press conference. He revealed that Prospect Reef has continuously been deeply entangled with legal matters that were prohibiting any developments from occurring with the project. Premier Foy said he hopes this is the last hurdle of legal battles with the Prospect Reef Hotel project, and said if it is, more promising updates will be forthcoming to the public.
Prospect Reef seems to be an entangled weave. Every time you straighten out one thing with Prospect Reef, something else comes in. I would say that I say it in that parable because there are some other legal concerns that have been raised lately. So I don't want to say anything more about that until we pass that hurdle, which hopefully will be the last hurdle with Prospect Reef. We've made great progress, although it doesn't look that way in terms of physical movement, but there was a lot of legal entanglement and measures that we had to get past with Prospect Reef. Hopefully this is the last one. So I would answer it in terms of that, and if this is the last one, we should see some more, hear some more about the direction of it. But I do commend the board for all that it has to do, because the work that the board has done is not one that we can publicize, given that it was more of a legal nature. with the legal issues that were involved with Prospect Reef in some areas. So based on that nature, we can't make that public as yet. But I'll just be able to tell you in a broad sense of what has been the case. But we'll get there.
Premier Andrew Foy's response prompted me to ask the following question for a more precise response on whether he foresees any works commencing on Prospect Reef before the end of his government's first term in office. Follow-up question to my question I just asked you about Prospect Reef. You did say that there's obviously information you can't reveal because it's legal information, but based off the knowledge that you have on the project, can you say that in terms of at least the viewers and in terms of the public seeing some developments on that property before your present term is up, is that likely or is that currently unlikely based off the information that you have?
I would say to the public that if I had my way from day one, I would have had development there. But when you have legal issues that you have to deal through, it doesn't work that way. You have to yield to the system on how it deals with it. And hopefully that we'll be able to have something. But it's not a hold up on our end. If we get past that, then when we get past it, we'll be able to do much more. So I just don't want to say too much on it because person listening, it may either strengthen or weaken their legal case. So I will leave it at that.
Meanwhile, at a subsequent press conference, 284 News also used the opportunity to ask the leader of the opposition, Marlon Penn, on his opinion of the project. He said he doesn't see anything being done with the Prospect Reef project within this current term of this present administration.
The member said he can't even get a community center operational in his district. I can't see how anything could be done at this late stage in the game, Kamal. And the reality is that if there are legal issues, that's news to us. I know many questions were asked in the House, particularly about that project and the concerns surrounding the employees of there who were owed monies or have claims of being owed monies. This is the first that we're hearing about any legal issues somewhere around in Prospect Reef and why it hasn't been done or hasn't been dealt with, or at least have a plan or a way forward in terms of how we're going to develop that facility. It's a very important piece of facility to the territory and the tourism product, especially in a time where we're competing globally, and we need to ensure that we have proper facilities like that particular plot of land to move forward. But I don't know any specifics in terms of legal aspect of it, and I don't foresee anything being done between now and the end of this administration's term.
While also lending an opinion on the matter was senior opposition legislator Julian Fraser, who shared similar sentiments to Penn. He said it is just not realistic to see any development occurring to the Prospect Reef Hotel, which is in his district, anytime soon.
Prospect Reef happens to be in my district, it's our district. I'm not even going to address the whole issue of the facility that you probably referring to, which is the hotel. But you may not know that Prospect Reef had a swim with a dolphin program. It was the only one in the Caribbean. Definitely the Virgin Islands. And a lot of legwork went into getting that facility here. And some people caught a lot of flack for doing it. But once it caught on, it was very well received. People came from St. Thomas to swim with the dolphins. At least we could have gotten that back after the hurricane. But now I understood that it's adopted somewhere in one of those Caribbean islands, like Anguilla, someplace it is. But that goes to show you that you're probably expecting too much if you expect to see something happen between now and the end of this administration. It's just not, it's not realistic.
Well, up next, the world's largest cruise ship set sail in March, and Lettsome commence community center works. All this when 284 News return.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, the world's largest cruise ship will be setting sail to the Caribbean in March. And will the BVI be a part of this historic voyage? 284's Nia Douglas has this story.
Big things are happening in the cruise industry as travel restrictions start to lift globally. Subsequently, Royal Caribbean has announced plans for the world's largest cruise ship to set sail in March. The Wonder of the Seas is a 1,188-foot long and 210-foot wide cruise ship that can reportedly accommodate almost 6,990 guests and 2,300 crew members. Royal Caribbean began constructing the Wonder of the Seas, now the world's largest cruise ship, in France in 2019. According to a Royal Caribbean press release, the ship features 18 decks and 8 unique neighborhoods. Royal Caribbean says they plan to offer 5 to 7 night cruises from Fort Lauderdale to the Caribbean from March through April. While in May, the Wonder of the Seas will head to Europe for summer Mediterranean itineraries. And in November, it'll offer more Caribbean cruises from Florida. And while Royal Caribbean has already listed Charlotte Amalie in the neighboring U.S. Virgin Islands as a November destination for Wonder of the Seas, the BVI Port Authority expressed to 284 News that the BVI cruise pier can presently only accommodate vessels up to 180,000 gross tonnage. The Wonder of the Seas has a gross tonnage of 236,857. In spite of this tonnage cap, the Premier and Minister for Tourism, Honorable Andrew A. Foy, confirmed that the BVI is to expect a large volume of cruise calls in the coming season. The Premier said this at the ceremony for the return of cruising to the British Virgin Islands held in October 2021. The ceremony followed the Premier's leading of a delegation to the Sea Trade Global Conference last year, where BVI representatives were able to speak directly to major cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean.
With this now, we went and we negotiated, and by the time we were finished, Van, so much calls we had from Cannibal? We have 52. 52! Right there on the spot, they said, we will conform. Yes. 52 additional calls to the BVI because you are present. Let's give God a round of applause. That's why I'm telling you. You could sit, members. I don't have to say anything that those who went with us make up. And every morning we met as a group at Sea Trade, and we went through the briefings to make sure everyone was on target. And we come in the evenings, we had debriefings, and by the time we left Sea Trade, we had 193. 176 is what we confirmed when we left Sea Trade as additional calls to this territory in this COVID era from now till next year, April, May.
In late January, it was also announced that the Royal Caribbean-owned resort in Labadee, Haiti, has also reopened. The popular private destination was closed since March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic and is already generating international travel buzz following its long-awaited reopening. In response, Mrs. Olivine Maynard, the managing director of BVI Ports Authority, told 284 that the reopening of Labadee shouldn't affect the British Virgin Islands, as the BVI is of the eastern locale, whereas Labadee is on the western end of cruise itineraries. So far, we are seeing a lot of cruise calls that have been booked way into next year, and I'm hoping that we would not see a lot of cancellations. Sometimes we do see a few popping up here and there, but our bookings look great thus far. So to the best of my knowledge, I don't see it having any direct bearing here on us in the British Virgin Islands, Mrs. Maynard said. Nia Douglas, 284 News.
Well, thank you, Nia. Well, viewers, since 2017, the East End Long Lock Community Center, among many others, have not been in use. One vocal 7th District resident Kevon S. Lettsome is commending the efforts of finally addressing the matter. Well, 284's Ron Grant has more.
In a recent Facebook post, 7th District Community and Youth Leader and former VI Youth Parliament member Kevon S. Lettsome once again addressed matters within the 7th District of concern, this time commending the resumption of work at the East End Longlook Community Center. Recently, Lettsome made a public appeal to 7th District Representative the Honorable Natalia Wheatley and the government of the Virgin Islands to swiftly reopen the Rosalind Penn Health Center in the district. He also said, and I quote, "We need the Deputy Premier of this territory to step up for us." In his most recent Facebook post, dated today, February 7th, 2022, Lettsome shared, and I quote, "I am thrilled to see the work has resumed on the East End Longlook Community Center." Speaking to the importance of the community center and how it has impacted him personally, Lettsome said, and I quote, "I am a rooted product of District 7. I fell in love with playing basketball and softball during after-school programs at the East End Longlook Community Center. I sang in community events at that center and graduated from the Bethany Baptist Preschool and Francis Lettsome Primary School there. Many of you even sheltered there during the passage of the devastating hurricanes of 2017. Our seniors did craft, sewing, cooking, storytelling, and devotion when persons from the community and schools would visit and do activities with them. This multi-purpose facility plays a vital role and is essential in the growth and development of young people in District 7. I look forward to the day the East End Longlook Community Center becomes fully functional again, as we honor the legacy of the late Terrence V. Lettsome when he fought to get the center built in 1994. Lettsome closed by encouraging residents to stay engaged, stating, and I quote, "In addition, a few weeks ago, I made an appeal to the Deputy Premier, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, on behalf of District 7 residents to reopen the Rosalind Penn Health Center, and it has been. This is a positive for the district. I wish to encourage every resident to stay engaged and advocate any way you find most comfortable, whether that is publicly or privately. Lend whatever time and resources you can afford to improve our beloved District 7. Lettsome ended his post with the hashtags Ready to Serve and District 7, leaving the question, does the vocal 7th District resident intend on serving his district in a political manner? At the time of the publication, our newsroom did reach out to Mr. Lettsome for an official comment on whether or not he intends on presenting himself as a candidate for the 7th District in the next general elections. However, he was unavailable for a comment at the time. In an interview with 284 Media while a member of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament, when asked whether or not he sees political office in his future, Lettsome said, and I quote, "Everything is timing, and you don't want to rush anything. Time will tell. We are here in the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament to educate ourselves on how the whole governmental system works, and we will see where that takes us." Reporting for 284 News, Ron Grant.
Well, thank you, Ron. And many other community centers across the territory remain underutilized and not rebuilt. Well, we will keep you, the viewers, updated as we continue to cover these topical issues in the local communities. And that's it all for today's newscast, viewers. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. 284 News, your source of honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Happy Monday, everyone, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Livestream Cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.